Matt, how in the world are you?
I'm good. I did that in the microphone. No. I haven't been sick exactly, but Wednesday I started to not feel great. My nose got like stuffy and then got runny and then it was stuffy and then it did all over and my throat got all congested and all the fun stuff. And then it got cold all of a sudden and then it rained, which made everything better for work. So it's still cold. It's gonna be cold tomorrow. I'm really excited.
No, it's actually going to warm up a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Like 50s is what I read.
Oh boy, maybe I can wear short sleeves. Yeah. That's good. I have officially reached 100
Victims in the backyard, what?
Oh, shh, don't talk about that.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, they're just old people. No, 100 shrines. That's what I was looking for. I've got 100 shrines without looking up any kind of...
I was about to ask you, was that on your own?
It was. I haven't looked anything up.
You should probably try talking to people, because not all shrines, if they're underground, they're not going to show up on your detector.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, there's a bunch of the shrine quests that I've done. I've teleported all around to try and find the accordion birdman. Try and find all of the songs that he has.
Or Call?
No, Toucan Sam, whatever.
It starts with a K.
So, yes, 100, and I believe there's 120?
Yeah, 120.
Okay.
And then there's 4 more with the DLC. But
Yeah.
that's like special.
I don't count those.
So, did you hear that they are making an updated strategy guide for Breath of the Wild to include the DLC?
Really?
Yeah. It's the same cost as the normal strategy guide, but
What?
I'm not going to get it.
I was going to say, that sounds a little silly.
It's kind of a waste of time because you just set it as your quest and you get a waypoint.
Yeah, like...
It tells you where to go.
You think they could release like a small pamphlet? Not an entirely new book, but it's Nintendo. They want to make some money, and people will buy it. But yes, now comes the time to where I'm probably going to start looking it up. I'm going to try and see how many I can get, but at this point I'm okay with looking them up because that's what, like, I don't know, 85%, maybe.
Of the game?
No, of the shrines.
Oh, where you're at now?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not that great.
Yeah,
with
probably.
math. Yeah, it's around there.
That's safe.
Yeah, so 20 to go. I already kind of know where one of them is. The big temple where you get the like tunic of the wild.
Yeah.
I know that one. But I haven't gotten it yet because I want to save that one for last.
Anytime I warp there, and just as a, there's some place nearby, and that just happens to be the closest shrine, I zip there, and the first time I did it, I had forgotten which shrine it was, and then I warped there, and I'm like, oh, this one, okay, this'll be fun, and then just run mad dash.
So there's a lot of guardian turrets.
Yeah, there are.
Cool. I imagine there'd be a few, but that fills me
there
with...
are There's like 2 main sections, and there's at least half a dozen in each section.
Nice. I can't wait
They're
for all of
decay
that.
guardians.
Yeah. Oh no, that's another thing. I learned how to. I finally learned how to shield parry. I just stayed in front of a stationary guardian for like 10 minutes until I got the timing right.
For some reason, it's harder for me to deflect the smaller guardian shots than the main ones.
Really?
Yeah. The ones that like take super long to charge up.
Oh, the like Guardian Scouts?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because it is a different charge up.
But it's longer, and
When like that circle like comes together,
there's like a flash of light, and I think that's when you're supposed to.
well, there's like a second where like nothing happens, and then it'll fire.
Yeah.
With the Guardians, it's like it charges, and then it's just like
There's a longer
Do it.
flash too with the guardians, the stalkers, the one with legs. It's just easier with them, but you have to do it multiple times, like 4 times.
yeah, they shoot. That's fun. Well, usually when you get them to that point, one'll get them. At least with me, but like I have like one weapon. I'll pick up a weapon, and I have like 9 weapons over like 70 that I never use. It's just like the Master Sword and this other sword, and then that breaks, and I'll just pick up whatever's near to me. Which is one of the reasons why I don't have too much of a problem with the whole weapon decay thing, because I'm always equipped with strong weapons. But yes,
Not always, because they break.
yeah, but not
If
often.
you if you go to
I find a lot of them with like durability.
let's say if you go into the Dueling Peak region, and you are outfitted with like dragon bone clubs and stuff like that. Well, when you defeat those little goblins or bokoblins, you're gonna get a torch or a traveler's sword or a boko club. You get such weak weapons when you go back to the earlier areas.
Yeah.
So I don't like that aspect. I wish that maybe not the enemies, but at least the weapons, like upgrade the weapons that they use.
I think it'd be cool if you could make your own weapons. I wish you could do that.
Yeah, that
Because you
wouldn't
collect
be
so
bad.
much. You collect like all this ore. It would have been easy to like put like iron.
And
or,
I'm
like,
sorry, I don't use monster parts for anything. Like by the time I get to the point in the game with the one guy, Keaton, I think is his name,
I think so.
the guy who really likes monsters.
Right. Yeah.
It's nothing for me to get everything from him, because I think at one point in my first playthrough, I maxed out how many Boko horns I could carry, or Bokoblin horns. I basically had all of them. And I think I sold them all for a pretty good amount.
Yeah, I really just cared about the dark armor. Didn't really care for much anything else.
Just because it looks good and that's it, you can't upgrade it or anything.
Yeah. I don't care much for those masks.
The masks you can have fun with.
Yeah.
Like the Bokoblin, Zolfos, and the
Lionel.
Lionel masks.
I think the Lionel mask would probably be maybe one that I get, but that's just because it's a
You
Lionel.
can walk right up to the Lionel.
Or even like sometimes I'll be walking in an area and then like I'll just get arrows raining from above, and I'll like look around me and I'm like, oh, there you are. Didn't see you there.
Yeah, this will protect you from that, but you have to know that there's a Lionel in the area.
Exactly. Which is why now I've been marking, like, anytime I find a Lionel or like a Hinox or a...
There are not 100 markers is not enough,
You can only use 100 markers?
and then that's it.
I don't even think I have more than 30 up.
Like, I think I tried to mark where all the sub bosses are, and there's more than 100.
Yeah.
So that didn't work.
But that's okay.
I think I just marked where the strongest ones were.
Yes, 20 more shrines to go. Well, technically 19 because I know where the last one's going to be. But that is my only objective right now. And then I can move on. Or I could do the DLC, but the Champions Ballad. But I'm going to wait till I get all the shrines, and then I'm going to do the Champions Ballad. So that'll be fun. And then I also started playing some Nautica again, because that got out of beta. I think it was either sometime last week.
I think it was last week. That's when I started seeing things about it.
Yeah. And I purchased the game a while ago. It may have been the beginning or near the beginning of last year. Yeah, I think it was like April of last year. It was either April or March, but I got it because it looked fun. And it is a lot more fun now. It is kind of difficult, but it's manageable.
Is it an indie game?
I believe so. I don't have the developer name off the top of my head, but I don't think it was made by any kind of big company. But it's cool. They've got the story is like scattered all around the world. Then these little PDAs that you find in like other life pods that were like launched when the ship crashed on the planet. There's a lot of really cool things they do, and I don't know a whole bunch about the story, mainly because I haven't read really a lot of the PDAs that I've gotten, but that's where most of the story comes from. But I've gotten kind of far. Not really. I'm past the beginning. I've started constructing a small base, which is nice because I'll be able to grow my own food. So I won't have to worry about food for a while, but I still have to worry about getting water. So until I find
the ocean, man,
full of salt.
There's plenty
alien
of water
salt
in the ocean, man.
It's an alien ocean. So I gotta find the water purifier or water distillery or whatever it is. That'll be useful, but it's really fun. There's a lot of cool things to do in that game too, like the edge of the map. Like the whole game is like in this giant square. And like the lore of it is like the area where your big ship crashed is like right on top of this like ancient underwater volcano or a volcanic crater, and it's like a huge crater. And if you try to go outside of the map area, you can get to that point where like the crater's edge. But when you get to that point, like a new area description will pop up, and it'll give you a warning. It's like, you may want to turn back. It's like, no, I'll keep going. And I did this because I was curious about, what the edge of the world was like. Because you always want to find out in video games with big open worlds.
It's the one thing that I feel they were kind of lazy with Breath of the Wild.
Oh, because it's literally just like you have the ocean, you have a giant canyon, and then you have a death desert.
Well, the ocean, just no, you can use the ice rune to go as far as you need to. So I guess you would need. I never like invisible walls in games where it simply says you can't go any further. Make like a natural boundary, kind of like that canyon that goes up against the west and north parts of Hyrule. That's smart.
It'd be cool if it did something like in Wind Waker, where like you get to a certain point and like a tornado like blows you away.
Yeah.
That'd have been cool. Something like that kind of happens in this. So when you get to the edge of the world and you keep going past that crater ridge, a giant ocean serpent comes out of nowhere and just destroys you. And it's quite possibly one of the most terrifying things I've ever experienced. Because... And I can't tell you why I bought this game, because I have a fear of the deep ocean. I'm pretty sure I've said this before on the podcast.
I'm not too fond of that either.
I hate deep ocean, mainly because like we know less about the deep ocean than we know about our own moon, and that's outside of our own planet, which is crazy. So I'm not a huge fan of like going out into
unknown territory.
Just ocean. Like being on top of the ocean, I'm not entirely okay with. It terrifies me not to know what is underneath me. You know, with the ground, I don't have to worry about it, but like looking in the water, it's like I can see to a certain extent, and if I see a shadow appear, I'm gonna cry and crawl into a ball and probably
that is
pass out.
Definitely one of the most unsettling things, to have something large below the surface and you can see it from above the surface. Even if it's like a sunken ship, that's just, I don't know why, it's disturbing.
Because you don't know exactly what it is. You don't have a clear image of it because the water distorts everything and it's creepy.
But I don't want to go into the water to find out what it is.
Exactly. So that's why
I just want to get away from it.
I will fly anywhere I want to because a plane will be quick and fast, either getting to the destination or dying. It is just, you don't even have to worry about it. You're just gone at that point. You don't have to worry about suffering. Sometimes.
I don't like flying because I have control issues.
Oh. I didn't have a choice when I was a child. I flew everywhere. But yeah, that terrified me. It was a big, glowy thing that is usually like around 300 to 400 meters deep, and it only lives in like a specific area. And those are like, I guess they're considered children. The ones that like you'll encounter when you get past the world map are adult, so they're giant. And that's not even the scariest thing in the game that I have been aware of. There are so many more giant, disturbing sea creatures that are even further, because you like go into the volcano part, but you have to have like you get like this giant submarine, which is almost like a mini base, but I'm nowhere near that. So it's fun. It's probably one of the most fun, like, survival crafting games that I've played. And it doesn't look all that bad either. It looks, on my computer now, I played that on my laptop before, and it looked like crap because I had to play it on like the lowest settings in order for it to not run at like 10 frames a second. But on my beautiful desktop, wondrous desktop, it's so smooth.
Which you put together at the perfect time, because apparently there's a GPU shortage out there.
Yeah, super excited about that. I would have been really sad about that. Did your brother-in-law get his?
No, because the GPUs keep going up on him, and I keep telling him just...
I was gonna say, he should have just gotten one.
Well, it's one of the more expensive items that he has to buy, so I kind of told him hold off on it, because normally they don't spike up in price like this. They just go down in price the longer they're out. So hopefully he can just ride it out.
Yeah.
So I have been playing Breath of the Wild. I've done 65 shrines on my second playthrough. I'm diamond hunting, which is going a lot better now than it was before. So I'm doing things clockwise along the map, which means I haven't been to, I haven't done the elephant with the Zoras. I didn't take into consideration the fact that that one piece of armor lets you swim up waterfalls. I really miss having that, and now I'm not going to get until I'm almost done with the game. Because Revali's Gale and the climbing gear only go so far in the Farron Tower area. When you need to get up to the top of that waterfall.
Where's the Farron Tower?
It's the extreme southeast corner. It's the same area where you find that one island, Eventide Island.
Oh.
It's that area. It's like the jungle area.
What is Farron's Tower?
Farron. It's called Farron. That's the name of the area.
Oh.
And the tower is called Farron Tower.
Why would you need the water?
Because there's ore at the top.
Oh.
And I'm hunting for diamonds, so I've got 5, and I need 6 to upgrade the diamond circlet to level 3.
So you found 3 of the fairy fountains.
Yes. Because the last one's in Akala. That's always the last one that I go to.
Oh, you did the one in the desert?
Yeah, that's always the second one that I go to.
That was the last one I did, just because for some reason I treated my rupees like I do my actual money. It's like I don't want to spend that much money.
By the way, that also freaks me out.
The Great Fairies?
No. So you have the giant skeletons of the
Hinoxes?
No, not Hinoxes.
Oh.
The Leviathan skeletons. When you come up on that one, there's a sandstorm going on. So you don't know exactly when you're going to show up on it, and then all of a sudden you just see the silhouette there, and then the storm clears. And it's like right in front of you, you're like, oh, that's not terrifying at all. I'm glad I ran into this in a sandstorm.
It's just a big old skeleton.
I know, but it's still creepy looking. The one, actually, I think the creepiest looking one is the Eldon area on the northern part of Mount Doom. Because it has like this big, fat, like flattened kind of circular head.
Is that the one with like there's like a great flame blade inside of it?
Probably. I wish, due to fund shortages, I could be saying that I'm playing Dragon Ball FighterZ and Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, and then Shadow of the Colossus, the remake, comes out. And by the way, this has been bothering me. Shadow of the Colossus is a remake. It is not a remaster. Games journalists stop calling it a remaster. Do you know why they're calling it a remaster? It's the dumbest reason.
Why?
Because some of the original code still exists from the original game. It's not technically a remake because it's not from the ground up. Every single asset in that game is fresh. There's none of the original visual assets. They even re-recorded the music. It's a remake. I don't care if the game engine is the same, like the physics engines or whatever. The
physics engine was fine.
Yeah. I think they even refined it a little bit. But the thing is, it's a remake if you have, I would say, if most of the visuals are new, whether we're talking character models or textures or whatever, touch-ups don't count. The Shadow of the Colossus release for PlayStation 3, that is a remaster, not a remake. I mean, am I crazy here?
No, there's a difference.
But I think that should be the difference.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Ocarina of Time on the 3DS. That is a remake. That is not a remaster.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, looking forward to that. And not having the money to pay for it.
Out of... Did you... You said DB Fighters.
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Dissidia 2. And...
Not 2. It's technically the third one.
Oh. Well, what did you call it?
NT is what it's officially called.
Dissidia NT. Shadow of the Colossus, and then...
Well, then
is that it?
Kirby Star Allies comes out in March.
Oh. That's okay. You can wait on that.
Apparently, you were talking about, PC settings and everything. If you play the PC version of Dragon Ball FighterZ on the lowest possible settings, it looks like a really cool GBA game. Because the 3D models look like compressed sprites. It's great. I've seen footage of it.
I did not think about that. I thought I was gonna come back from work one day and find you just
going at it on that game.
Yeah, just...
Oh, I want to. It looks so much fun. I keep watching gameplay videos of it, and I think I know how the game plays and feels, even though I never played it.
It definitely looks just as pretty as the first trailer that came out for it.
Oh yeah, it does not disappoint. I think it's the fastest selling Dragon Ball Z game of all time.
I believe it. It's a very the way the character models are designed is probably one of the bigger selling points, because it looks like the anime.
And it's not an insanely hard game to get into. It's very approachable. The combos translate pretty much. If you learn one character, you've learned all the characters. I love that in a game. It's like with Smash Brothers. All the controls are the same. It just, depending on what you do, characters will do different things.
Exactly.
You don't have to learn these. You don't have to master one character, and then when you move on to another one, you've got to relearn everything from round one.
If that's the case, I may actually pick that up. That'll probably be the first anything Dragon Ball related I'll ever own in my life, because the way it looks, and even the attack animations look extremely pretty. Everything about that game just looks so pretty.
I saw this one guy pull off. So he had Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Blue, which unfortunately in the game they put next to their name SSGSS. Can we drop the term Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, please?
No.
Just call it Super Saiyan Blue.
That's not canon. The canon is Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
The canon is Dragon Ball Super. Yes. Not the movies that are falsely labeled Dragon Ball Z movies. You're not even a DBZ fan. You're just doing that thing. I'm not going to fall for it.
Yep.
Yep, totally am.
Just sad because they haven't been able to get One Piece right.
What was I going to say, though? Yeah, I haven't, throughout me getting games for the PS3, and 3DS even, never wanted to get a Dragon Ball Z game. I got, all my Dragon Ball Z collecting was during the PS2, Game Boy Advance era, and PSP.
So you never got a Xenoverse game?
Nope. Because they play like Budokai Tenkaichi. Or Tenkaichi Budokai. Apparently you can...
Now you're going to be judged.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's Tenkaichi Budokai. But I got all three of those games. So it's like I've got my arena fighters covered. This is completely different. It's not a 3D fighting game like
No.
the original Budokais were. And it just looks so good. I do wish the roster was a bit bigger. And of course, Dissidia.
That also.
I've been watching. Huh?
It also looks kind of pretty.
Yeah, it does. I've been watching some videos on that, and I have this feeling that it's actually not going to be as good as the PSP games. Hopefully I'm wrong, because Square apparently didn't develop it.
Oh.
It looks good. It looks like it's got the same... The only thing that's... I don't see any EX bursts, which were some of the funnest things to pull off. They're basically the super moves of the game.
Yeah. Like, Cloud could use Omni Slash.
Omni Slash, yeah. Sephiroth would do Supernova. All that stuff. I've never seen that in the game, so I don't think it's there. And the new one. Apparently you can't customize your character with certain bravery and HP attacks. Like, they just do what they do and there's no customization. As long as the moves make sense with their placement, then I'm okay, but that was an aspect I kind of liked.
They make it to where lightning can only move forward and backward.
No.
Well, that would be correct for her game.
It was neat in the PSP she was
It's
game
a
in.
corridor.
The PSP game she was in. It was pretty neat because you could shift your paradigm, and it would shift your bravery moveset. So that was pretty cool. And then of course Shadow of the Colossus. One thing, I guess, I wish they had. I haven't seen this yet, so I don't think this is the case. Then again, the game's not out yet. Comes out this Tuesday. A lot of people have been trying to see if they can find another Colossus in the game, like a hidden Colossus in the game, like even just going through the code, seeing if there's like something.
I think they definitely should have at least like
Yeah.
one secret, because weren't
One
there like
more.
40? There were like 48 or something that they had planned, and then they cut it to like half.
They
and then
cut it into half.
and then they like
They
took some off.
Yeah, they took 8 of them out because they were too similar to the other really good 16 others. But it would be nice.
Yeah, I think they had like 48 of them planned, and then they were like, "No, it's too much. We can't. There's no way we can get this out." I'm like, "Okay, well, there's 22." I'm like, "No, that's too many."
And there's definitely screenshots of at least 3 or 4 that didn't make it.
I think adding at least one, like,
Oh gosh, I just thought of something.
what?
My least favorite Colossus to fight, you probably know. You played the game, right?
Yes.
The one underwater.
Are you talking about the serpent-looking one? You didn't like him?
We just talked about large things below the surface, and you have to jump into the water, and it comes up at you.
Right. But he's on the ocean.
It's still underwater.
There are plenty of things like that I've fought in games before, and it hasn't given me a problem. My problem is a giant area of water, and there's no land in sight, and something big is under me. That is a gigantic fear that I have. But to have something near me, it's like, oh, there's land all around.
No, that always ties into that psychological thing for me. Every time I fight it. Every time.
I mean, yeah, it's not, pleasant. I'll still get scared, but I don't get like that kind of rush.
I think it'll be amazing.
It is annoying.
Yes.
It's very annoying.
And it's a remake, not a remaster.
Did I say remastered?
No. I'm just saying that as a...
To clarify.
Yeah. By the way, sorry that we haven't been here. We took a week off because we didn't have enough topics. But Yeah, we're back now.
Completely forgot we didn't do anything last week.